Hey, you. Yeah, you. You have to subscribe to Don Sill's show, Put Up, Shut Up, and Stand Up on GOVS Radio. It's the show with his buddy Benny. They're good buddies. They're on TV. I don't know what I'm saying.
For this season of Ghost Adventures, we are taking extra precautions to protect ourselves and our crew in light of the global pandemic. For example, instead of the regular lockdowns where we lock ourselves inside of a haunted place and yell at ghosts which may or may not be there, we will instead set up a camera, press the record button, leave, and then come back the next day to pick it up. Then we will bring it home and watch the footage. Tune in to see some truly terrifying things, such as the inside of my apartment, and also, oh my god, bro, did you see that? No one else is here, bro. I'm out.
Hey everybody, and welcome to Put Up, Shut Up, and Stand Up right here on GovsRadio.com, Facebook Live, YouTube Live, and Boxcast. And like my good friend Ken Pichelle always says, we on TV! And yes, indeed we are, folks. I'm your host, Don Sill, and we got a great show for you today. We got Mike Young is on the show. Crazy story. Everyone needs to listen to Mike Young and listen to the story he has to tell about what inspired his movie, A Stand-Up Guy. It's a crazy story. It's all true. You got to stick around for it. But without further ado, let me bring in my good buddy, spacey as he ever was, Benny Gagoots Rizzuti on Mars. Benny, how's it going, man?
I'm doing great, man. I'm vacationing in Mars. I had to get the hell away from all you friggin' earthlings. But I like it here. It's nice. The atmosphere is not too bad, but you know, my lungs, I did a lot of work with my lungs through the years.
Yeah.
A lot of different type of vapors, and it's helped me out. I'm actually considering opening up a Starbucks franchise out here. Starbucks and a Dunkin' Donuts. I'm gonna be here when everybody starts landing. It'll be like they're wearing their space. Be careful. And here's Benny Rizzuti. Hey, you want a latte?
I think there's already a McDonald's over there, but yeah, that's
awesome.
awesome.
We'll have the McRib. We got the McRib, baby.
You are smart to leave Earth, Benny. You are smart. Earth is crazy, as you know. It's not getting any better every day.
No snow here either. We're closer to the sun.
But Benny, now that you're in Mars, you know today's Ash Wednesday, and you're there's no Catholic church up there, is there?
No, not yet. I'm working on it.
Okay.
I'm working on it, but I was gonna bring a priest along with me to Mars, but I got second thoughts. I might have a nun. Maybe I could get a nun to come. Anyway, my father used to tell everybody in the neighborhood that we never observed Ash Wednesday. And my father used to say the reason we didn't observe Ash Wednesday is because our priest got an oil burner.
Nice.
My father was the king of corny jokes.
He would have done great on the Wheel of Jokes.
Oh yeah, he would have done great. He had a joke for everything. They were corny, but I will say I had a friend who was a headliner back in the 80s, and he'd come over and we would hang out and listen. And my father would start telling tales, you know, like how my father would tell stories that had punchline, he had delivery, He had better delivery than I ever did. And my friend one time looked at me and said, "Go get a pad, quick!" And he wrote down, and he actually used some of my father. My father would tell stories, and just they always had a funny
That's great.
punchline.
Never actually seen a cat penis, frankly. Seen a dog penis, but who hasn't? Dogs want you to see their penis. You walk into the kitchen, the dog's fucking a chair, he doesn't miss a stroke. He's happy. He's like, how about that, huh? Yeah, can I have some water? I'm done fucking this chair. I think I could use a good chair, by the way. Very nice.
Well, yeah. Is there anything that you're going to give up for Lent?
Yes, as a matter of fact, in all honesty, I am giving up. I am giving up being nice. I am giving up being a nice person, which means I am quitting smoking. I don't want to say it too loud because nobody believes me. No one believes me, but this time I've been working on it.
Wow.
And
Just
I'm
tobacco, cigarettes.
no. I'm giving it all up.
Wow.
I'm giving it up. I need a break from my brain. And I'm telling you,
This
I'm
is
for
big,
real.
Benny. This is big
It's
news
big.
because for anyone to quit smoking is big, and then for you to quit smoking everything, and that includes edibles too. Like you just giving it all up to clear your head.
You know, just the lungs, not the brain, the lungs.
You're gonna let.
Come on, I gotta have a little sanity here.
I was gonna say, man, I don't know if you can make it.
I need a break. The smoking is bad for me. I'm a 65-year-old man now. I really shouldn't be doing it anymore.
So
You
what
know,
do
so
we got?
that's
40
bad.
days? It's like 40 days, right?
Yeah, you could do. I remember you could do like 20 days, give up one thing, and then give up something else. You could do that. You know, if you're a drinker, you could give up alcohol for 20 days, and then the other 20 days you give up something.
I think you
different,
should do the whole 40, man. I'm rooting for you, buddy. Because
I'm gonna try. I'm even considering maybe I'll do little video vignettes. And
you should, whenever you whenever you start to get itchy and you get you fiending, just give us a call or just do a like a log on your phone. Like, hey, I'm gonna go nuts here, you know, and then and get it out of your system that way. That always works.
Yeah.
You know,
right.
And it's going to be hard to do it.
A cafe latte enema.
It's going to be hard to do it in Mars too. You know.
Well, there's no people to bother me here. There's no one here. There's nobody. There's no one around. Just me. This year, they're not even. In all honesty, they're not even going to put the ashes on your forehead. They're going to drop them on you or blow them on you. Or
really? Because of COVID?
They're doing something, but.
Wearing a face mask and a face shield, with hands sanitized, the priest will then sprinkle the ashes silently over each person's head.
Look at you. You're all by yourself. You have like a nice landscape view there. You know.
The view is beautiful here.
I hope you brought plenty, like for breakfast and stuff, pancake mix and the Pearl Milling Company syrup, because that's nothing goes better on pancakes than Pearl Milling Company syrup. It's Pearl Milling Company and we're not racist. Gave it the most boring name because we're not racist. Yeah, it's the same syrup. Yeah, it's kind of good. We won't say it's too good because we don't want to offend the other syrups.
Really? Pearl Milling? I didn't know that. Where do you get that?
At the store now. It used to be Aunt Jemima, but now
Aunt Jemima, and they changed the name.
It's now called Pearl Milling Company syrup. So
Pearl Milling Company. And you know what else came out with that when they did that? Now there's no Uncle Ben's rice anymore, right?
Yeah,
it's not Uncle Ben's, but we've agreed that you are allowed to call Betty Crocker Betty Cracker.
Yes, right.
That's now acceptable. It's no longer Betty Crocker. It's now Betty Cracker.
But they're also mad at Cracker Barrel too. Now, did you hear that one? So
no.
They're saying that Cracker Barrel, because cracker is a term that goes back to the slave days when they called the white people crackers because they were the ones with the whip, right? Cracking the whip. Yeah. So now they saying, and I think they bent the slave over a barrel to whip them. So now they're saying that that's the Cracker Barrel, and then they're saying in the logo, the R goes into the L or whatever, and it looks like a whip. So I'll put the logo up and everyone can judge for themselves with it. But now Cracker Barrel is under the barrel, and under the gun, and looking at, potentially having to change their logo, maybe change their name. Who knows, man? This is just getting crazier and crazier.
To the crackers.
Just like,
the
and they're
crack
like,
house.
and the
crack house. Is that okay?
Yeah, the crack house is fine, but they want to put their emphasis on Cracker Barrel. And the thing too, with Cracker Barrel has responded and said, no, the Cracker Barrel is just what it is. It was a barrel full of crackers back in the day. That's exactly what the store is named after. The restaurant's named after. So it's just another silly thing in this world. And you know who's really upset about it?
No, who?
Nancy Pelosi. And here, check this out. She responds right here.
Aye. You niggas is blocking your blessings. If you so worried about me, get invested. Bitch, I'm a business. You wanna get in it, go put down your phone and pick up a pen. I understand you thought you were smart. Blind the blind, you're all in the dark. I know you used to see a mediocre. I know the bar getting lower and lower. Nigga wanna constrict me like a boa. Snake in the grass, but I got the mower. I went and put the city on my shoulders. They got my name at the top of the totem. They know about me cause somebody told them. Bitches is soft, you know I'ma fold them. He say I'm heavy, I told him I'm loaded. You need to put this pussy on the podium. You need to shut up, let the pussy speak. A lot of you real niggas acting weak. I think you really mad at your daddy, but get on the internet aiming at me.
All right, so that was Nancy Pelosi. As you can see, she's pretty heated up. I think I have the rights to that song. If this is still on Facebook right now, we know we're okay.
Yeah, who knows? There might be a little delay.
If the show goes down, I urge everybody to keep on watching us live on YouTube. You can go on the YouTube page and watch us live. So if Facebook, and you can still message and talk to us. I'm on both. I'm always following YouTube and Facebook, and I'm commenting and just like I always do. And
you can comment on YouTube.
You can comment on YouTube as well. And so if this goes down again, like it did last week, and it did a couple weeks before that, it's because of me. I'll take full responsibility. Sometimes I get carried away with the movie clips and the music and stuff, and it comes back to bite me because and you know what, they can bite me.
Und hello, Professor Bedora wants a tribute to all our past presidents during this President's Week, mainly towards the people that do impressions of our presidents. What's number 5? President Reagan.
I prayed every night to Howard.
Don't
you know the scriptures?
I thought I did.
Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name.
What's number 4? President Obama.
Hello everybody, this is Andy and Best Friend of Warning. A small once again, I tell my friend of Warning.
What's number 3? President Trump.
It's unbelievable. I go out with my crew every day. They're tremendous people, and we love McDonald's. It's great. I mean, I live on McDonald's and Diet Coke.
What's number 2? President Bush.
Somebody get me a visor. Sir, you mean advisor, no a visor. What are you, stupid?
What's number 1? I always found that President Clinton was always so funny.
I love that House of Cards. 99% of what they do on that show is real. And the 1% they got wrong is you could never get an education bill passed that fast.
I do a little impression of him too. That was very stupid. See you next week.
My name is Silvio Dante. My friend Don Sil, he's got a great show. What's it called?
Put up, stand up, and shut up. No, put up, shut up, and stand up. I keep getting that wrong.
Put up, what is it again?
Put up, shut up, and stand up.
I don't know the name of it, but everybody else does.
Put up, shut up, or stand up. Right? Put up, shut up, stand up. Put up, stand up, and shut up.
We'll start over.
Put up, stand up, shut up. Put up, shut up, and stand up. You gotta watch Put Up, Shut Up, and Stand Up with Don Sills. We just had a fucking blast.
That's what I thought. Put up, shut up, stand up. That's what I was gonna say.
In any case, we have our first guest. We have Mike Young today. Mike Young is a hilarious comedian and movie maker, director, and he's hangs out with the guys like Leo DiCaprio and Tobey Maguire. Those are his
Wow,
buddies.
really?
Yeah. So he's a Detroit dude based out of LA, but I had a great conversation with him. You have to hear the story he tells. It's a crazy story of what inspired him to make one of his movies called The Stand-Up Guy. So just watch this. It's fun stuff. Here we go. Mike Young, everybody.
Who am I kidding? I'm getting older. I'm pulling muscles, doing nothing. You ever yawn and get stuck? What the hell's going on in the facial area? Do I just like have a small section of my head's dehydrated? What is happening right here? You're like, I had a hawk. I was a kid, I could play street football for 10 hours, bounce off a car fender, I was fine. Yesterday, I pulled a neck muscle ordering food and looking left. I was like, yeah, let me get it. Oh, that's gotta be something serious. Hold on one sec, bro. No, hold on one sec. No, seriously, it's just in my lung area. It's floating in a rib. I'll be fine, just give me a second. My boy's like, what'd you do? I'm like, oh shit, I talked and turned. I can't talk and turn. He knew, he's like, don't do that, bro, you gotta pause, you're no superhero. Are you crazy? There's air involved, man, wake up. Can't just have run-on sentences.
All right, everybody. My next guest is a comedian, writer, and a director who's been doing stand-up for over 20 years. He's written for a bunch of TV and films and has directed 2 feature films. My Man is a Loser and a Stand-Up Guy. He also just released his new comedy special called Who the F is Mike Young? And here he is now, folks, single Mike himself, Mike Young. Mike, how you doing, man?
Don, thanks for having me, bro.
Yeah.
It's beyond a crazy time, and I'm just happy to be having communication with another human being. I don't care if it's computer, Zoom, whatever it is, bro. I feel like I'm hugging you.
Yeah, I hear you, man. The same here, dude. I mean, are you in LA or where are you now? Detroit?
Right now, I'm in Detroit right now, and I live in LA, but May 5th, I got in my car and drove across the country, and I just kept going. And I went to Detroit, where my family's from. I got to my mom's house. We have a place in northern Michigan.
Nice.
I went zoned out, and fortunately, I got lucky, and I'm gonna do another film, and the film is actually shooting in Detroit in May. So
very
April
cool.
or May. So it all worked. I'm not going back to LA for a little while.
Right. Yeah.
You need a place, bro? I got a place to crash out there. You can have
it. Yeah, man. I don't blame you, man, because but LA and New York are kind of similar in the way it's been being handled with the COVID and the lockdowns and the shutdowns and all of that. It seems like a lot of people fleeing these days, the cities, most big cities.
Yeah, people are fleeing. And it's funny because I'm in LA for business. I never was like in love with Los Angeles anyway.
Right.
I'm not like a beach guy. Grew up outside Detroit. Whatever, I'm not like a sun god. I'm not a beach guy. I don't surf. I don't love sharks. You know, I'm like a city dude. So LA for me was always where I needed to just make my connections, relationships, you know, work on my craft of comedy as much as I could while I was there. But once you start hitting the road, you go, wait a minute, I could live anywhere. You could really live anywhere, especially as a comedian.
Right, yeah, because you're always traveling anyway.
Always traveling.
And now with the COVID thing, that's one of the, you know, if you look at advantages, it's one of them was now you could basically communicate with people and do business all over the world through this. I mean, I don't know if you were using Zoom or this type of stuff prior to the COVID, but
I never heard of Zoom.
Yeah, man.
Never heard of Zoom. I started, as soon as this thing hit, I started doing my own Zoom rooms, like, because I was losing it early. You know what I mean? Like when you're used to going on the road Thursday to Sunday every week for 15 years, and then it goes cold overnight, you just get locked out, done. My mind was playing tricks on me. I was starting to talk to puppets. I was throwing Facebook comedy nights. Like I had to talk, bro. I had to talk.
Yeah, man. Yeah, because you're like a creative juggernaut, man. You do it all creatively. Your writing, dude, like just, you know, watching this special, Who the F is Mike Young? It's like, you know, the stand-up is the way you craft jokes, craftsmanship, similar to like Seinfeld style, where I feel like you really put your time into developing the joke.
Married friends do not have my immune system. You can't do what I do, okay? You got kids, your kid walks in, sneezes, your whole family's a mess for a month. I make out with a stripper on a Wednesday just to clear my sinuses. I'm like a walking Z-Pack. I couldn't catch a cold if I wanted one. Couldn't catch. I do take time. You know, I'm not one of these guys who can just be the funniest guy in the room and then like just do a podcast and then I develop my stand-up off of a podcast conversation. I take writing very seriously and I'm always at the table just like looking for the best word to craft it. And married friends, stop your vicarious living, all right? It's killing me, it's stressing me out and I don't need your secrets. That's too many secrets. I'm not a vault. Not a vault, all right? Fuck, work on that bit. I take that, you know, I've heard Seinfeld talk about that a lot, and I do look at him as sort of a mentor. He's not my mentor because we don't know each other that well.
Right.
But I look at him as an example of somebody who takes the writing seriously.
I mean, usually I write a bit in a couple of days. It's a long time to spend on something that means absolutely nothing. But that's what I do. That's what people want me to do.
It definitely takes time. It takes time. But I am one of those strange dudes who will sit at the table and like make sure this word's better than that word and like cut out. You got to find a rhythm, a musicality to it.
Right.
I appreciate you saying that, man, because I do take it seriously. And it's like my favorite thing about it is the writing and then putting it on stage. So everybody's got one criminal friend they grew up with. You know what I mean? You're never shocked that he became a criminal. He's that guy that would take a regular prank too far when you were a kid. You'd be like, hey man, let's throw eggs to the neighbors, then we can toilet paper the tree. We'll soap the door. He's like, hell yeah, then we'll kidnap her fat dad. Thanks.
Yeah, that comes through, man, because like you said, the finding the right word and the right thing and all that stuff. It's the word I was looking for before was like a wordsmith, and that's kind of what I see in your stuff, and it comes through in everything you do too. Like, you know, when I was watching a stand-up guy.
This is gonna be like taking candy from a baby. Nice. 200K, boys.
We can see him.
Sammy Lagucci. Why am I not shocked? You tell us who's running things and we cut a deal.
We'll provide you with a new identity and 24-hour protection.
Where are you taking me? This is like the vanilla version of life.
Yeah, a stand-up guy had a lot of, that's my style, man. That's my style. You know, if people are gonna dig it or they're not, but I'm trying to just have my own voice.
I liked it. I thought it was really good, and I was watching it, you know, because I knew I was going to be talking to you, so I was kind of like really watching it and to see, how, you know, because I know you wrote it and directed it and everything.
Yeah.
And I think it was excellent, man. I loved it. Yeah, I think it was great.
We have ourselves a mafioso from the big city.
His new name is Derek Hesh.
Is this the hot spot in town?
Why don't you get up there?
Let's bring a little Deacon. All right.
Derek.
Please welcome little Derek.
Wow, you two, the product of a dear enemy.
And then to find out that there's, and you got to tell us this story if you can, whatever you can, that there's what inspired this movie? What inspired you to write this movie is kind of crazy.
Yeah, so I can tell you, hold on. Ma, please don't come in here right now. I love her. That's my mom. I don't want her to hear that. Yeah. So, you know, being from Detroit, you know, I'm not like, hold on one sec. Let me shut this down. Never know when the FBI is listening. Being from Detroit, like we're talking, you're in Jersey right now. I've been around the underworld a little bit in my life. My dad was in the scrap metal business. I know what it is, I know what that world looks like. I'm not a part of it. I'm in comedy. But what inspired that movie was an incident that happened to me years ago. I was in a comedy club and I got into an altercation with somebody in the audience after there was already a fight in the audience. We got into a heated exchange. He came at me. We went toe to toe. I got the best of him, not knowing anything other than my dumb Detroit brain said, this guy seems serious. You should hit him first. And I did. And it was a very bad mistake. And so it turned out that he was a connected guy and it went bad. And I ran out of that place after I had heard like what I had done. I hurt a guy that was a bad guy. to make a crazy long story short, about 5 days later, they sent their people to find me. They got me. They said, you're going to have a sit down. We're going to have a sit down. I basically was convinced that it was going to be a sit down. I knew people that knew him. I asked that they go speak to him up front and say, I basically begged for my life. And not only did I do that, as a comedian, the comedian brain never goes off.
Right, yeah.
I was sending gifts every day. I was sending gifts. I was sending flowers. Bro, I went to University of Arizona. I was sending U of A hoodies to his house, like just to give him some clothing. I was just saying, dude, I didn't know who you were. I'm so sorry. And basically, when they sat me down, I've told this story on Bert Kreischer's podcast one time, so I can definitely say it. It's out there. It didn't go well. So what was supposed to be an apology in a public restaurant turned into a sit down, beat down in a private place that was closed. And they basically did what they had to do to me. And, when it's all over, it's weird even talking about it because it's a traumatic event.
Yeah, man.
Totally straight with you. It's like post-traumatic stress disorder is a very real thing.
Yeah.
And I've definitely suffered for a long time from it. And the only way I can get through my own stuff is through writing and performing and just writing. And so there was always this thought after it went down, it was so heavy that different factions in the underworld were like notified, no joke. And so I'm sitting here thinking to myself, if my people who love me go at him, it's just going to be a perpetual, terrible war. Like it's just going to keep going. So
Right.
And then my second thought was, if I did do that, if I went the bad way and I had to go into the witness protection program, would I ever have to just not be funny anymore? So that was an idea. That was a seed of an idea. And it just kind of kept going. It kept in my head, like, I just kept saying to myself, if I ever had to just disappear, what do you just turn your personality off? Or am I going to be doing local open mics?
Right.
And so that's where the idea for a stand-up guy came, was that, unfortunately what happened to me was bad. I was put in the hospital. I got a lot of stitches, organized crime divisions were showing up to my house. It kept going and going. I basically shut my mouth. I never said a word to any authority. I just shut up and let it go. I forgave him. He forgave me. It was even. I should never have done what I did. I shouldn't have hit him. When you get into something, there's 1 second where you can breathe and like step back, or you can think I'm in trouble and you attack. And I just thought maybe I was in trouble, and I made the wrong move.
It was that fight or flight moment. Like you said, you're a Detroit guy, and for me, I'm Long Island, not Jersey, but same thing. It's the same thing. But yeah, and so I try to put myself in that situation too. If I just got on stage, some guys heckling me, this beef erupting, energy's high, this guy's in my face, boom, you're gonna do what you got to do.
That's exactly. And my thought right before I did hit him was, this dude seems like he could bite my face off. Like he had that type of energy.
Right.
And instead of letting him bite my nose off, I punched him. I boxed my whole life as a kid. I knew how to throw a punch. It went bad. They got me. And it was like, they got me really, really good. Damn. And without going into detail, I was basically put in a position where I had no choice, and I decided to write a movie based on the idea that what if I went to the witness protection? And so I wrote a comedy, and I was like, let me just get this off my chest, because I'm having all kinds of post-traumatic stress disorder. I'm afraid to go into public places. I'm scared to like be in a crowded area. If any dude that looks shady is like around me for a long time, I was getting aggressive. I was like, who's this?
Right, yeah.
I was making calls to dangerous friends. I had like, a lot was happening. So I said, I got to write about this. And so I thought it was a really good idea. And then when the producers of that movie, they were at my premiere for My Man is a Loser, which was my first movie. Afterwards, they came to me, they said, Mike, we want to do a comedy with you. And we got an idea. And they had this idea that it didn't even resonate with me. I just had I had a stand-up guy in my head.
Right.
When they said, we want you to do this other movie, I said, just hear me out. I said, I think I have the best idea for you. And I pitched them that idea, and that was it. They signed on to it. They let me write it and direct it. And I got to make a comedy and get a lot of stress off my chest.
Mr. Hesh, you're good.
Thank you so much.
You really messed up.
I'm dead.
We gotta keep a closer eye on Gucci. Achoo. Did you just sneeze?
Yeah, it's the way I sneeze. Achoo.
This song I'd like to do is called That Wasn't Me Heavy Breathing on the Other End, Leslie.
Want me to sing you a little something?
It's like a little something.
Just rock it out.
No. Something about the way she keeps me.
Yeah, I mean, you end up making a great film that came from a real traumatic thing and probably helped you cathartically kind of get through it. I don't want to dwell too much because I don't want to bring back too many of these memories to you. But like when you're in there, does it feel like you're in a movie? Like did they sit you in a chair and all surround you?
You're in a straight up movie, and I'm not even kidding. There's probably gonna be 3 movies that come out of this whole situation because not only was I in a movie and not only was everything moving in slow motion, but I was telling jokes in my head because when I walked in, there was 2 giant dudes with guns and they had hats and sunglasses on and they were like in the dark and there was like a newspaper on the table. And I remember thinking to myself, you can't read in the dark. Like, what are you doing, bro? Like, I'm thinking like, this is like acting is going on in here. I'm like, and then I'm like, you're holding the gun so loosely. I'm like, I could probably grab that if I wanted. So you're like playing out you're so hyper aware because, you know, you don't know that the adrenaline is raising up. You don't know how the body and the mind work like that.
Right. Yeah.
My adrenaline was so up and my mind was so keen that I was really thinking about pulling off some superhero shit where I was going to swoop the gun, get everybody in the room and exit. Like that was where my head was at.
Yeah.
And, you know, it is like a movie and you just go into survival mode, especially when you get put in a place where you can't do anything or else you're done.
Yeah.
So they put me in a real compromising spot. And when they were done with me, I basically was like feeling my limbs. And I remember in my mind thinking like, I got them. I'm thinking they think they got me, but I'm not even hurt. That's what I'm thinking. Right. I'm numb, but you don't even know that like, I'm thinking in my mind, oh, I got him. I'm going to pretend that I'm hurt, but I'm feeling my limbs. I'm not shot. Nothing's broken. Of course, my whole face was broken and I had, 27 stitches and broken nose. And I was a disaster. And they did get me very badly. But at the time, I'm living in a movie in my head and I'm just in survival mode. And I'm just thinking, and then when it was over, you're still apologizing. Like I was still apologizing the whole time. Like when I walked in, I apologized because I saw him. I saw the person right away. So I was apologizing right when I saw him. Like, I didn't know who you were. I'm so sorry. And he's like, don't worry about it. Come over here. And then I go over there into a different area. And that's where like the gorillas were.
Holy shit.
And then, then I was thinking, I got no options. No one's close enough for me to like do any kung fu, which I don't know. And you just have to, bro, I just accepted it and I just took it and I never said a word about names or cities or anything like that.
Yeah.
I kept it as it's a scar on me for sure, but I've gotten through it. I saw a psychiatrist because my brother was like, yo, you're acting weird. You're like, you're different now.
Yeah,
you're scared. You're like acting depressed all the time. You're not really up. And it puts a light out in you. But you know what? You got to come through things like that. Not like that. Probably, I'd say, 98% of the world does not ever have to go through that. But something that heavy, you got to figure out a way to get through it. So I got through it with a lot of support from my friends. I saw how many people love me, like were willing to go to war with me and like for me.
Right. Yeah.
And I didn't want to go that route either. And I didn't know how, the one thing I should have probably used in a stand-up guy that I didn't put in, it's almost like if Woody Allen became a crime boss, because I was getting so many people coming at me who like had seen my shows and were like, Mike, we love you. You're so funny. What can we do for you? And all of a sudden I'm like climbing the ranks of the underworld. Right. I'm like, no. I'm a Jew from Detroit who just, I was bar mitzvah. I don't want to wield this power. But thank you, everybody. Thank you all so much. I'm just gonna go back to the stage and eventually get back to my life. So
Yeah.
it was
How-
heavy, bro. And you know,
Dude.
you're from Long Island, so I already know without you having to say that you already know what this is. You know
Yeah.
what it is and what it could be.
Yeah, man, and it's real stuff. And yeah, how long did it take you to get back into stand up and get back on your feet in that regard, like as far as performing again?
It took me about 5 months. I'm sorry about that sound. Someone's drilling in the basement.
Oh, I don't even hear it on the.
Okay, good. It took me about 5 months to get. First of all, it took me about 5 months to heal. I look like the Elephant Man. So, one of my friends is a very famous actor, and he got me like this stuntman cream. And he's like, put this on, bro, and your whole face is gonna go down. So I started wearing like stuntman cream, and my face was like every day was like, whoop, whoop, whoop. So 5 months it took to heal up so I could go in public like normal. And then it wasn't until about 6 months later that I went on the road, and I was actually on the road with Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan took me on the road. I was opening for him for a year.
Wow.
And I remember at that time, I didn't really want to share what happened, but I did tell Joe, and he was just then like getting heavy he was so in with the UFC guys.
Oh yeah.
And I had like 100 gorilla monsters. And we're like, we love this kind of stuff. Where is he? I basically just, threw my hands up at the whole situation, but it took about 5-6 months to go back on stage and feel comfortable. And then I never talked about it on stage other than like, I attempted a few jokes about it, but I wasn't like emotionally there yet because I know the guy and his people are still kind of around they didn't like go anywhere.
Right. Yeah.
I probably could put a call into him and say, listen, bro, I'm never going to say your name, but I am going to do a bit. Because my bit was going to be like something like organized crime. I got to be honest. They're organized. Like they are very organized. Like I went in and like 8 minutes later, 18 things happened and I walked out. Like they're so efficient with their time. It's like they got a whole, I'm like, who does your schedule? So that was like where my head was at.
That's a great premise from it, man.
Yeah. So like there will come a time where I'll do it because we are definitely, I'm good. He knows I'm good and I know he's good. And like, there's nothing, they tried to get me so many times. Like I was visited by the authorities many, many times because they were looking to get these guys. They were just looking to get them. They tried to use me to get them. I just never flipped. I never did it. I never said it. And I
Smart. Yeah. I think you did the right thing. I think you did everything correctly. Even, find a positive in there and put your creative energy into it. And you ended up making, a great movie. They got you through it. And then, it's traumatic, man.
Yo, bro, I had to buy books. Like I was buying books like 7 Spiritual Laws of Success, The Art of Forgiveness. Like I had to like forgive in my head so many times because you go back and forth with stuff like that. You're like, you want revenge. And I know people who would have grew up crazier than me. And these people too, they would not have forgive. They would not be doing the same thing I did. They would have gone into a full scale war and it would have just been negativity on negativity. And I just knew that I made a mistake myself by engaging and I could forgive. So I have to live like that, bro. Otherwise, my life just got exponentially better after it,
Yeah, man. Yeah, because did you already have the first movie under your belt by this point, or
no? This happened, and a year later, I sold a TV show to ABC. I got my first movie. Wrote and directed My Man Is a Loser. Right off that came a stand-up guy, and it's, Kevin Connolly, who you know from Entourage, and he's
Long Island guy. Yeah, he's from Patchogue, right nearby where I am.
Yeah, Connolly's a good friend. He directed the narrative part of my stand-up. And so he always says to me, he's like, yo, Young, there's just certain moments in your life that are just pivotal and they're just game changer moments. And that was a game changer moment for you. And it did. It put me on a different path. And, luckily I've been fortunate enough to make movies and do stand-up, for, a year after that. I've been nonstop. And it's an interesting thing because I started in stand-up, but when you do a movie, it takes a year out of your life where you're not doing stand-up. Even when you tell yourself like you're gonna get on stage, I didn't have the energy to get on stage. So it kind of like stutter-stepped my stand-up for a sec, where all my boys were still going, you know, like I was on tour with Sebastian, Saget, you know, big
Right.
names. I was like on a nice trajectory with stand-up. And then the movies, they take your energy, and rightfully so, because you got to dedicate your energy to them. But I did not have the energy to go on stage after like being on set. I said I would, but I didn't.
Yeah, it's got to be tough to juggle that. Yeah, because with the movie, how involved are you in post? Are you there in the editing room too?
Yeah, editing. So you have I had 6 weeks of post. So I'm in the room every day. Like my editor will do an assembly. He gets like his 2 weeks. And then he'll say, okay, come on in and look at the movie. And then I'll look at the movie with him. And I'll have 4 weeks after that to sit with him and just, you know, fine tune the editing to my liking. And then the producers, the money guys, they can always go, okay, Mike, now you're out.
Right.
And
Yeah,
we'll
we
take
want.
over.
Yeah.
And that happens too. And every director will tell you that no matter how, except for Scorsese, who has last, you know, final cut, and maybe a couple guys.
Right.
But it's you know, you just do your best, you deliver the movie, and you hope that the guys that paid for it are just as happy as you are. And sometimes they are, and then sometimes they want to change things. And that's happened in, you know, both my movies. Things get changed, and you know, that's just that. You got to just accept your role and do. My whole mentality is like, kill it and just say at the end, okay, you told them that this is what you love, and if they want to change it, go ahead, but you did your best and you moved on. Because otherwise I hold on to things, you know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
I'm like, I'm so nuts that like, if you try to change a word that I wrote that I think is like my word,
Right. Yeah.
we got to have an hour battle over a word, and that's not healthy. So I'm just like, I'm going to do my best, and here it is. Here's the movie, and I hope you like it.
Yeah, dude, you're old as fuck.
Old as fuck. I'm 39 years old and light on my feet, bro.
You said you were 38. You're 43.
I'm all the ages. You don't smack ass post movement, buddy. We don't do that anymore. You smack somebody on the ass that's a friend of ours, we take your father's company.
My father's dead.
Yeah, so is mine.
So is mine.
You don't see us acting up. Sorry about your dad. He's probably looking down on you right now going, why's my kid wearing a tank top?
What can you tell us about this next movie you got cooking? Can you tell us what it's about, a synopsis or anything? Or
Yeah, I could give you. So obviously I'm in like the edgy world. Like I like to play in like the edgy comedy world. My next movie is called Stealing Jokes. And it's about 3 road dogs, like 3 road comics. And they go on the road and things go awry and they start robbing venues. And so it's like a crime heist. It's like a heist comedy.
So it's comedians, like hacky comedians robbing the clubs?
They're robbing clubs. They're not hacky comedians though. They got potential. One's like the up and comer. One is like a good guy who should have made it. And one is like a local Detroit legend. And
Dude.
So, yeah. And so that came from a moment. Listen, man, I've been lucky to open for some of the best. You know, I work with Saget. I've opened for Chappelle. I've opened for Attell. Like I've seen the best in the game.
Yeah, man.
And so I remember I was opening for Chappelle a few years ago, and I started doing the math in the room, and I started counting the heads. And my manager at the time was like, "You want to open for Chappelle? They'll give you like $500." And I'm thinking in my mind, Chappelle's got to be getting $75,000, like literally, easily, if not 100,000. I'm getting $500. So in my Detroit brain, I'm like, there's got to be a safe with at least 200,000 cash in this building. And once again, you know, that was the seed for what I thought. And it's really just it's commentary on the underdog story and the fact that comedy doesn't get appreciated the way it should be. And comedians are just always underdogs. And so it's just my commentary on like a revenge tale. Like, F you, we do God's work. You know, we don't get paid all the time for doing what we think is like an important thing in the world. And now we're going to get our revenge. So that's kind of where that came from.
Dude, I love the premise, man. And do you have anybody cast for this yet?
I'm talking to some actors. I don't want to say that yet because no one's signed on the dotted line.
Right.
I'm talking to like 3 great comics who can also act, you know? So I want to pepper it with some cool cameos of like high level comedians where they just do interstitials where they kind of tell their story of being robbed by a comedy club owner.
Oh yeah,
and
yeah.
Just kind of use it as like a oomph. But no one's cast yet, but we're in talks, as they say in the bit. We're in talks.
No, that's cool. Do you have a title for it already as well? Or?
Yeah, it's called Stealing Jokes.
Stealing Jokes. This is great, dude.
That could change, but like that's what it's called.
Right. Yeah. I love that you're doing these films, especially that about the stand-ups, about the comedy world, the universe a little bit there. Yeah. I think that's friggin' awesome, man.
Yeah, thank you. And I'll probably like after this one, I'll get out of that. I got a couple more with like. Listen, by no means am I Woody Allen. All right, he's like I love Woody Allen, but like you'll see like 6 of his movies got stand-up comedy in it at some point, and everyone's like, write something different or let me get this off my chest first, and then I'll go into like I've gotten a couple other movies that are not in the stand-up world at all. So let me just get these off my chest first.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I'm loving it. I'm a fan, and this one sounds great to me.
I wish I was great in bed every time. I've accepted it. I'm amazingly average. I don't care, because every now and then I'll have an Olympic moment. I don't even know where it comes from. Every guy does the same shit. What did I eat today? I gotta start off every day with Crunch Berry and Advil. It was some kind of chemical reaction.
Everyone's got to see your comedy special too. Who the F is Mike Young? It's great. It's because it is kind of like a blend of the stand-up, your typical kind of traditional stand-up special, but then it's got like a kind of a theme going on. It feels like Entourage kind of a vibe. You're trying to make a deal, and all that stuff.
Thank you.
Yeah, what inspired you to merge that? I don't think it's ever been done.
I always had this idea, like, could I do a bit and somehow show where the bit came from? Or just, that was like the thought, like life gives you bits, right? So I thought I got enough material that's about real life. And I shot the stand-up at the Beacon Theater. I opened for Sebastian.
Oh,
and
nice.
So they were kind enough to give me my own footage. So they basically shot my special for off of his tail. Like I tailed off Sebastian. And so I got the footage. And then I said, all this stuff came from real life. I'm going to write a script, like a short that's based on all these bits. And so when you see me doing a bit about criminal friends, you see in the narrative, I got the shady, the maintenance guy. Larry, you're the man.
You shut your fucking mouth, all right? Enough with the names. There's nobody here, man. I'm in the rain, freezing. Are you fucking kidding me? They're all over the place. Google's got a drone dedicated to it.
Right.
So I wanted to just show, like, life creates the bit, then we go back into life. Then you get the bit from life. So I kind of wanted to just weave in what I thought could be like an organic, narrative story within my stand-up.
Kudos to your writing, the hilarious stuff, and even the way it's shot, the vignettes, the
Yeah, that was Kevin Connolly. He directed those parts.
Oh, did he? Oh, yeah, that was good.
Yeah. He knows what he's doing. He moves fast. He talks fast.
It did feel like Entourage vibe. Maybe that's why, because he had his hands on it. That was good. Yeah, man.
Thank you, man. I appreciate that, Don. It feels good. You bust your ass to do something and you put it out. And that's the beauty of comedians. We just, it's the most gangster art form there is. When you fail hard.
It's all you. Yeah, man. It's not easy, bro. It's, like I used to do stand up, but like a long time ago, and I had just wasn't doing good, kept bombing, and it just took it out of me. I mean, maybe I'll go up again one of these days, because hearing stories like this inspire me, man.
At least you gave it a shot, bro. You know how many people are talking? I got friends that are still talking about getting up and doing 5 minutes. They've been talking about for 10 years. It's the scariest thing in the world. So you got up, and if it's not for you, like the life, it's a life. It's a lifestyle,
Yes, indeed, man. Yes, sir. I appreciate you taking the time, Mike, man. Can you just tell the people where they could find you and find your movies and follow you and all that good stuff?
Definitely. So you could find me at The Real Mike Young is my Instagram. And then you can find Who the F is Mike Young on All Things Comedy's YouTube channel. That's Bill Burr's network. Who the F is Mike Young? Just Google it, you find it. And then my movie, A Stand-Up Guy and My Man is a Loser, are both right now streaming on Amazon Prime. And I wrote a movie, I didn't direct it, but I wrote something called Adam with Aaron Paul, and that's also on Amazon Prime. So we'll just throw that in on the side.
Cool, man.
Yeah.
Mike, much appreciated, my friend. Thanks again for everything. Keep on doing what you're doing, man. You rock.
Appreciate you big time, Don. Thanks, bro. If the police come knocking, you don't know where I'm at. I'll talk to you later.
You got it, man. Take care. Mike Young, everybody.
I want to apologize to everybody.
I'm horrified, and I'm sorry, and I'm embarrassed.
I am so sad, and I am so angry.
I do apologize to the Vice President, again, for spreading misinformation about it.
I made a mistake, I fucked up, and I'm sorry if I duped you as well.
You know, I'm not perfect. I'm not going to sit up here and say that I am or claim to be in any way, shape, or form.
Well, I was wrong, and I am sorry.
Wanted to come on here and publicly say that I am so sorry, for everything. I just get bored in the house, and I'm in the house bored. All right, we're back, Benny. Mike Young, interesting guy, very cool story.
Super interesting, man.
Yeah, man, good stuff.
Great.
His new movie sounds like it's going to be awesome. I can't wait for that to come out. And hey, Mike, if you're watching this, if you need an actor, a Long Island guy, I'm here for you, man. I would love it to, I'll audition, whatever I got to do, pal.
And I'm a stunt man.
Yeah,
So,
we got a stunt.
I do all his stunts.
And he's in Mars.
And I'm on Mars. I mean, come on, what's better than that?
This way, okay. Yeah, and he wants to. This is Benny.
Oh, you see me there? I see you here.
Yeah, you're pointing at me right now. That's good. I also wanted to tell everyone that Ken Pichelle, a great guy, we on TV coined it, made it famous. The great Ken Pichelle does a lot of song parodies for us. He did a song parody about a new one about me.
About you.
About me, yeah. And
Cool.
it's about me, being a good-looking cartoon. Like, I wish I could be a cartoon all the time.
I was hearing about it, like you're a sexy cartoon.
I'm a sexy cartoon.
There's women. Your cartoon gets more action than you do.
Yeah, my cartoon's living the life, man.
I know. Does that make you jealous or what?
I do. I kind of live vicariously through my cartoon now.
Your cartoon, yeah.
So I just wanted to let everyone see this. You make a cameo in there. Renee May makes a cameo in this thing. Ken Pichelle, his cartoon likeness is in this as well. So enjoy this, everyone. It's going to be a lot of fun. Here we go. Ken Pichelle's new song. Here it is. Check it.
Hey Don, it's me, Ken. I've been meaning to do a song for you for a while now. Just wanted to do you proud. From your whole PUSUSU family, we love you, buddy. You're awesome. This one's for you. Now our host Don Sill, everyone knows he's so cool. After all, he masterminded PUSUSU. Interviews and production, his mad skills are so handy. And in caricature, he's quite the eye candy. Sure, in real life, Don's got the looks, the brains, the brawn. But you ain't seen nothing yet until you've seen him when it's drawn. Our host Don is hot as a cartoon. That lavish hair and beard making everybody swoon. I call it like I see, attractiveness empirically. Renee May was spot on. Hashtag Don is hot as a cartoon. Hashtag Don is hot as a cartoon.
All right, Benny, we're back. It looks like it's sunset for you over there on Mars.
Beautiful sunset, buddy. Beautiful sunset. You got to come visit me sometime.
I do. How long does it take to get there? Like a couple of days to fly?
Yeah. Only a couple of days. It takes like 1 or 2 dog years to get here. We'll put you to sleep. We'll put you out. I give you enough edibles to last a whole trip.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, awesome. That'd be great. I'll be just floating high in the space.
And we'll watch Betty Boop cartoons.
Yeah,
the whole trip, man. Bugs Bunny, Betty Boop.
That's the best way to travel. High on watching Betty Boop and Bugs Bunny. Yeah, man, let's do it. But yeah, that's the show for today, Benny. We had a lot of fun, man. I want to thank again Mike Young and Ken Pichelle and everyone who was part of the show tonight. It was a lot of fun. Thank you to all the viewers watching this. And again, hopefully we're still on Facebook.
Yeah, thanks for watching this stuff.
Yeah, man.
You froze up there for a minute.
Yeah, so did you. We both froze for a second. But But I do want to again remind everybody, please, if you haven't already, subscribe to our show right here on youtube.com/putupshutupstandup and hit the bell and you'll get all the notifications. We post stuff all the time, at least once a week. We have plenty of new material. And also go to teespring.com and get your GOVS radio merch. So you go to teespring.com, log in GOVS radio, and then all the merch from all your radio shows here will show up, including us at Put Up, Shut Up, and Stand Up. And you get your mugs, masks, shirts, and whatever else you want. And again, I want to say to you, Benny Gagoots, all the way there on the moon, have a great Ash Wednesday. And
thank you.
And you're awesome, my friend.
You have a great Ash Wednesday as well, buddy. And you are absolutely anatomically awesome. You're anatomically awesome, buddy.
Just like my cartoon. Yes,
just
indeed.
like your cartoon character. Yeah. You're amazingly awesome.
And you are awesome indeed, my friend. Thank you so much. And all of our friends and family and people watching are all awesome as well. Thanks, everybody. Have a great rest of your week. Peace, y'all. Yeah.
Peace, y'all.